So here's a method that I don't often hear people talking about or teaching. During my years of learning jazz, one of the things that I would always sit with and try to really get to the core of understanding is how to choose the right tensions for dominant chords. Sure, when you choose tensions for major and minor chords, it's pretty easy. You use the 9th, you use the 13th, the 11th, as well for the minor, and it sounds warm and beautiful. Not too much to think about, but I found a struggle that I didn't expect when I was dealing with dominant chords, and that is why that I had come up with this PDF, which according to my Buy Me a Coffee website, a lot of you downloaded, and I'm really happy about that because this PDF was specifically made for beginners. I had included, as you can see by the title, best tension choices for fundamental jazz chords, meaning minor, major, dominant chords. And under dominant chords, I gave you tensions to use for primary dominant chords, secondary dominant chords, as well as dominant chords within a minor key. Now this PDF is really good for beginners, and I'm passionate about teaching beginners because if you've been following me, I often speak about the struggle that I had when I was at jazz school and I started learning jazz, because I feel like I was on my own, and I feel like I learned a lot of things on my own. Not everything was explained to me in detail, especially coming from a classical background. If you're a beginner and you're watching this PDF is for you. And of course, you can go back and watch the video where this PDF was posted, but the PDF itself is also going to be in the description. But this is for the beginner. I want to talk about a little bit more of an advanced technique, which made me sound like a pro. I titled the video this way, not because I wanted to create any form of clickbait, but I genuinely feel like this method made me sound like a pro. You know, there are many methods that I come across, but when I implemented this, it sounded so cool and fresh. And I learned this method by transcribing jazz recordings, but I also noticed that a lot of professional pianists use it, and that is the implementation of triads over dominant chords. So starting on a primary dominant, meaning a dominant that's like a 5-1 in a major key, like here we want to build a triad on the 13th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or 6, right? So I'm going to do root 7-3 in my left hand, and then I'm going to build a plain major triad on the 13th degree. And that automatically gives me a 13 flat 9 chord. And of course, the beauty of these triads is that you can use them in various inversions. So I particularly like second inversion. Just resolves so well. Dominant within the minor key, so a chord 5 to a minor chord 1, we want to build a triad starting on the flat 13. In G7 will be E flat, right? On -6, 9. The triad that works the best for secondary dominant chords is the triad on the 9th degree. That will be A over G7, right? Crunchy. And of course, when you implement triads, it's going to be like an automatic set of tensions or trio of tensions that are invited into the chord, right? What I really enjoyed doing was taking these triads now and playing them over dominant chords in my jazz tunes when I was practicing. Let's look at Days of Wine and Roses, which I happen to have been playing throughout the video. here I had used the B flat major triad in D, because I can see that I am approaching a minor chord. And of course B is a triad built off of the flat 13. That works really well. And then we get to here it is again. I'm using sharp 11 as well here. So here's that triad. And here's the triad of a natural 13 for chord 5 to 1. I know these work because I've spent some time transcribing. I could sit here and try to make you understand why they work, but I think also a large portion of learning the jazz language is through transcribing, and I think you can't really get away from that. And I'm sharing these things with you because I've seen them being used and I've transcribed them, and so it's up to you what you do with them, but I truly hope that they change your playing the way that they have changed mine. Me personally, I feel like it changed my playing, because if you just memorize a triad, you know it's always going to work. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat that it's really, really important for you, with whatever you're practicing or trying to add into your playing, for you to practice it in all 12 keys, because practicing it in 1 or 2 keys doesn't really do much. When you practice, you're trying to get a brain and hand kind of coordination and understanding, as well as, of course, when you repeat something over and over, the sound of it gets embedded in your psyche. So when you are in a moment of playing a song or whatever, the sound of it like just kind of comes up, and you're so good at it that in the moment you're able to put it in there. So I highly recommend that you practice things in all 12 keys. The PDF of the table for triads for specific dominant chords is going to be free. I'm linking it in the description below, and I've gone ahead and notated the voicings that you heard me play throughout this video. I've notated all of those in all 12 keys. So for primary dominance, minor bass dominance, and secondary dominance, those are 3 exercises and voicings that you can practice on your own. I do, however, really recommend that you don't read them, but I know that a lot of people actually prefer reading, and I would not want you to be turned off, and then not practice, because, you're trying to do it the right way by not reading. So rather read and get the practicing going. So if you'd like to purchase that, you can purchase that at the set fee, but of course you can also make whatever donation you want if you'd like. So I have the full 12 keys written out for you, and I have the free PDF for you to download. I really enjoy these triads. I feel like they make you sound good, and I'm genuinely not even saying that. I mean it. It makes you sound good. It's a good tool to have, and I use it in my favorite jazz standards, modern songs, compositions, whatever. And I hope that you can do the same.